chairman and CEO of MySpace. Now you're chairman and CEO of MeWe.
MeWe has 20,620,000 users already. We're part of something called Project Liberty. Steve Wozniak is an advisor. We have Sir Tim Berners-Lee that was mentioned yesterday by John.
Why Avalanche?
So what we did was we took a look at, I would say, 15 different of the top chains that existed. I don't care if it was Arbitrum, Base, Near Technology, Solano, etc. So we had to have something fast and cost effective, and their solution just really takes care of it, and even more important, really good people and the support and so forth. So we're really excited to be a part of Avalanche.
Is this the big announcement, and then you're going to start getting more people aware of what you're doing?
This is, I could say this, Lens Protocol, Farcaster, we're bigger than them together. And people don't even know MeWe. Under the radar, quiet, no marketing, all organic, it's all part of a movement. Once we have our L1 in place, and we have our tokenomics in place, which will be first sort of like a reward system that will convert into tokens. Once that's in place, hopefully in the next 6 months, that's the plan, although I know we can turn an L1 up in 2 seconds, then the plan is to go out with a full push marketing effort to try to bring in masses of people to see what we're trying to do.
All right, so you saw some of the breaking news out of the event there at the LATAM Summit for Avalanche. I want to, of course, invite in John Wu, coming in from Ava Labs. How are you, John? Nice to see you.
Paul, it's always nice to see you, and thank you so much for sharing some of those clips.
When you look at that in itself and where Project Liberty is tied into what MeWe is doing, would you say that Project Liberty is starting to move in the direction of coming on to the AVAX ecosystem?
Obviously, that's something for Project Liberty to answer, but Ava Labs, which it's a software service company that helps people integrate into Avalanche, has repeatedly seen companies move over to Avalanche for the reasons that Jeff talked about. The beauty of the elegance and the beauty of the technology, the ability to have your own layer one. This is why we rebranded subnets to L1, because it's a self-sovereign blockchain that each application developer has. When you can develop an application on top of your own L1, it gives you so much flexibility. You can customize it, and you can take advantage of the composable technology of Web3 all at the same time. It's fantastic, really. So to answer your question directly, we'll see. I hope so, but one step at a time. What's more important is, I think, a key point here is, and you're talking about social networking on Web3. Mm-hmm. So there's also, MeWe is fantastic. And I think people forget that they have over 20 million real users. So it's a Web 2 social networking platform. Privacy first was always the mission for them. It's not growing. So people need to know that. Although it's not Facebook, 3 billion plus users, it's got a steady group of users and communities. And to migrate literally over 1.5 million monthly active or daily active users onto the Avalanche L1 network is an incredible feat. These crossover plays, call it, will ultimately lead to more users and more TVL in the long run. But in the crypto native sandbox, and Avalanche, and one of the things we're known for is helping crypto native as well as helping the crossover enterprises and TradFi. The crypto native also has great social networking related companies on Avalanche as well. There's one called Stars Arena. Now, they have over 210,000 registered users for a native one. That is a pretty big number. And there's millions of tickets being bought and sold here. So therefore, there's actually real revenue for Stars Arena as well. So it's like you have the crypto native creating great experimentation and new use cases using blockchain. And then the crossover players see the benefits and now are bringing their users over. It's pretty exciting, and it's happening in every vertical.
Well, I think the key here that everybody's looking at is you're really only 71 days away for the TikTok ban, which is traditional social media that is now potentially going to get displaced. And we know that Project Liberty is one of the companies that is vying to get access to ByteDance's US operations. And potentially, if ByteDance does go through a divestiture, If they do, then Project Liberty could be one of the key leaders there, and they're very blockchain forward. They've already proven that with MeWe. We've already seen some of their strategies around what's going on with Polkadot, but we've also seen the alignment now of what has happened since last year when Project Liberty was looking at that to what is happening now with Avalanche with the L1s getting launched, which of course is a big deal. With that being said, I want to play a clip for you because this is where some people are already starting to prep for this. Take a look.
What would happen come January 19th? Would the app just disappear from people's phones?
So yeah, no, as I mentioned, yeah, you would still be able to have it on your phone, but let's just say you bought a brand new phone. You wouldn't be able to download it from the App Store. It'd be completely gone from the App Store. So you'd have to keep that same phone for as long as possible. You'd have to have a VPN to keep it going.
Got it. What do you think about even setting up like multiple phones?
Yeah, well, that's actually what I kind of do right now. But I also have TikTok downloaded on every single device of mine, just in case they do ban, that I can have access like for a while.
You are ready.
There's millions of business owners that make money every single day selling, whether it's their products or services. It is very detrimental to a lot of people in the U.S.
Well, if TikTok goes away, then just get on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or somewhere else. But the audience doesn't necessarily translate, does it?
For me, I have let's just say 500,000 followers on TikTok. I only have 30,000 on Instagram, which tells you that my content or who I am, people love it a little bit more over on TikTok than they do on Instagram.
Do you have a message for lawmakers?
I mean, I understand the threat of national security, but they really just leave it alone. Just leave us alone.
Yeah, find a way to keep us safe, but also leave it alone in some ways. Like that.
7 million businesses on these kinds of social media. That's insane. And the amount of transactions, I can only believe that if that were to go to a blockchain, it'd have to end up being on Avalanche in some capacity at some point. You look at Canada.
You would need scale and you would need speed, and doing it in the Avalanche network of networks is the easiest way and most efficient way to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you look at Canada, they're shutting down their offices there, which again, this gets back into the security risk. I think it's going to happen even with the new administration coming in. I think the likelihood is we will see a ban, at least in the US, of not using it, but being able to download it. And I think that's going to be a big factor going forward. So I'm really interested in how this is going to play out.